Hello, everyone, and welcome to Synchronicity. I am your host, Christina Singh.
And I am your host, Michael Singh.
Welcome back to the show, everyone.
Happy Lunar New Year!
Happy Lunar New Year!
We're both wearing red.
By the time you
the
hear
power
this,
color, Year of the Wood Snake.
Yes. By the time you hear this, it will be 2 weeks from Lunar New Year, and this will be the second podcast in a row in which we've spoken about Lunar New Year.
We really love Lunar New Year.
We really do.
Year of the Wood Snake.
Yeah,
Doesn't that sound dirty, Wood Snake?
No, I don't.
What? Like wood?
No, I understand what you're saying, but I don't. I mean, I didn't even think about it like that.
I'm just an adolescent. I'm just a child.
No, like just tell us, listeners, if you were thinking about it that way. But
the wood snake. Because every time I keep saying Happy Year of the Wood Snake, I kind of feel dirty. So.
Oh my God, you told me yesterday night that it was the year of the wood snake. Was that yesterday night or the night before? I can't remember. But
that was last night. Literally
yeah.
last night while you were making your pasta with veggies for your child.
Yeah, thanks for recapping that. Yeah, and I did not know it was the year of the wood snake. I just thought it was the year of the snake.
Yeah,
but you told me the following.
In the Chinese zodiac, there's each given an element. Like there was, for example, when it was the year of the rabbit, it was the year of the water rabbit.
Mm.
And then year of the dragon, I forgot what year of the dragon was. I think it was like metal or something
Unleash
crazy.
The dragon.
Unleashed.
Yeah. Okay, great. Metal.
Ruff, like a dungeon dragon.
I was
like a dungeon dragon.
Singing Cisco. So
okay,
Cisco's
well, I've
Unleash
seen
the Dragon. I already know what
Minaj.
you.
Yeah.
So Michael, what's up? You said you had some things you wanted to discuss on the show today.
Yeah, well, I think first of all, before I just got on to this podcast and I texted you, you were on the phone with your friend.
Yeah, I was, yeah.
And I was wondering if our sister also tagged you in a story featuring a 7-Eleven coffee cup.
Yeah,
that
she
said,
sure did.
She did.
Yeah.
That said 28 years later and it still tastes good. And I think we should just delve into our torrid history with 7-Eleven a little bit to give people an idea of our history with 7-Eleven and how meaningful it is to us.
Well, so meaningful that one time when I was living in Buffalo, I walked into a 7-Eleven very drunkenly and with my arms spread open. And I think I said, I am the queen of 7-Eleven, like to my friend Lindsay. Or something. You know what? I'm going to text her right now and ask her what I said because she mentions it a lot. And
she does.
So we have
That's
a history.
how I feel in a 7-Eleven. I feel like I dominate. I know where to go.
Yeah.
And I can hook it up with the best Slurpee combos. No Coca-Cola Slurpee. No, nasty.
What? I love a Coca-Cola Slurpee.
Yeah, but like the fruit flavors are better and the Crystal Light flavors that they implemented in like the early 2000s were really game changers. They were sour. They were tart. But should we really break into our connection with 7-Eleven?
Sure, not
explain?
Sponsored, by the way. Would love it.
Not sponsored. We
honestly would love it. Our families work very hard for you, 7-Eleven. We love a sponsorship.
You would love a sponsorship.
Go ahead, if anybody's listening.
So our connection to 7-Eleven is that our dad, that was his main job for, 30 years?
Yeah.
Yeah.
30 plus years. Yeah.
30 plus years. He worked first as just like a 7-Eleven cashier. Then he worked his way up to a manager. Then he worked his way up to a store owner and owned about 3 7-Elevens.
Yeah.
That was a big deal when he started owning his stores. And he's been a store owner for he was a store owner. He just retired, thank God, because that job was taking a toll on him.
Very needed.
Very needed his retirement. And so basically we grew up like we were actual kids in a candy store.
Literally, yes. So our dad really, he emigrated here from India. And we are the children of immigrants. We are the brother and sister to two beautiful immigrants who also emigrated here later in their adolescence. And
we each took a turn behind working in the 7-Eleven counter.
Yeah.
That was like all of our teenage summer job for at least one summer in high school, if not multiple summers
our
in high
sister
school.
worked there a lot. But
Our sister did work there a lot.
But basically, our dad was working lots of different jobs when he moved to this country, and he found himself working in 7-Eleven. And I think like a big Indian population just like fell into working in 7-Elevens and in convenience stores.
There's an article which details the history of why South Asians were chosen as like the workforce for 7-Elevens. And there's a certain history about that. I don't recollect any of it right now.
Cool.
But there's like some significance to it.
But basically, when we were quite young, I would just remember our dad working a lot of different jobs here in the States. And then he
worked at Pizza Hut.
I thought he worked at Little Caesars.
No, Pizza Hut.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, he worked a lot of different jobs and then primarily worked at 7-Eleven and then became a manager. And he was a manager for a store in California for quite some time. And so Michael and I, we had two working parents, and so we would literally be kind of like shuffled in between their workplaces sometimes. And so I remember sleeping in 7-Eleven stores. I remember going to work with him regularly, and same with our mom. When we were sick, we would be in
7-Eleven eating nachos.
Yeah, like we literally lived in 7-Eleven for the majority of our childhood. And so I feel like we can navigate all aspects of a 7-Eleven. Like, I feel like an expert when I walk into a 7-Eleven.
If I'm not like, allowed in the back, it feels weird.
Like, this is my domain. Like, the little of the soda machines, the comforting sound to me. Like, I find comfort in that.
Yes.
Even
though it's stark and jarring,
very jarring.
The sounds the soda
especially when you're
machines
trying to
make.
sleep. But I have been in the back in coolers restocking. Like, we know how to restock shelves. We know how to do
Cooler Day,
everything.
especially in Nevada, would be my favorite.
And so, I think maybe our sister's post, Michael, triggered something in you where you're like, there's a history there. There's a legacy there.
There's a legacy there. Yeah. And she said 28 years later, and it's still good. And, that coffee is so slept on. I remember I was actually trying to get my friends to get some 7-Eleven coffee. And they're like, ew, I'm going to go to Starbucks.
Yeah.
And I'm like, literally, that coffee is some of the best coffee. And it's well maintained.
Oh my gosh. Well, it is very
well. They got the Bigelow tea selections.
Well, that's something that I want to say is like, I think that there are a lot of industries, jobs, people who are just working earnestly good jobs and making good lives, no matter where they are and no matter what their station is, because I know in all of our dad's stores, they were managed beautifully, run beautifully, like things were very well taken care of, and like it was a very important thing to our family and like our dad and the way that we ran things. Like it was not like we were just there eating a bunch of candy in 7-Eleven. Like,
although I remember sometimes it was like that.
Sometimes, yes, but I remember like stocking shelves and like mopping floors and like cleaning up the coffee area and like making coffee at like 7. Like I remember like doing these things at a very young age, and I remember speaking to our dad about inventory and like just learning
I have a theory.
So much.
Have you ever heard my theory?
No.
That Hank Azaria probably went into the 7-Eleven in La Crescenta and heard dad say thank you, come again, and took that from him to make the character of Apu.
Oh, I don't know. The other thing is our dad loves Apu.
That's my theory. Our dad loves Apu, even though Apu is problematic and has been retired now. Dad would always say, thank you, come again. And I freaking swear to God that Hank Azaria took that from Dad.
Okay, I've gotten a report back from my friend. So she couldn't remember what I said. And then I said, I think I said I was the queen of 7-Eleven. All caps, yes, you did. And that it was, and that it was your home.
It is my home. It is home. It was like a home away from home.
I'm going to say it really is. Because
I'm so disheartened that New York doesn't have more 7-Elevens. They have like Stewart's, and they don't have like, it's more on the West Coast and in the Southwest. And for some reason, New York doesn't have, like, the 7-Eleven situation in New York is not the same as it is elsewhere throughout the country. And it pisses me off because I just want a Slurpee.
Listen, one time my husband tried to say that a Slurpee and an Icy was the same. I think that's when we went to go see Wicked. And I was like, both you and I feel like we turned our necks so fast. And we're like, no, they're not the same. And I could feel genuine rage coming from both of us. Like, absolutely not.
Yes.
How dare you even think that? How dare you even say that? They're completely different. And we would know because we've taste tested, honestly, I would say at least 100 gallons of Slurpee is flowing through our
We used to brush our teeth with those straws. Remember? We used to have a game where we would brush our teeth with just straight Slurpee. That's when we were
poor.
No, but we just did that. No, that was our game to do. That was our entertainment. We would brush our teeth with the Slurpee.
You remember everything, and I don't remember these things. So nasty.
Yeah, I have a memory of an elephant, and your teeth would be blue.
Wow, that is fun, though.
Yeah, we were literal kids in a candy store.
Yes, I remember rollerblading down the aisles of 7-Eleven. Like, when our sister posted this, I just asked her, like, do you go in there regularly? Because we don't have a lot of 7-Elevens out here. And I don't know if I would go into 7-Eleven regularly. And let me just say who was the most boastful about going into a 7-Eleven, and that's Leslie.
That is our mom.
Leslie will go into a 7-Eleven, and she
will bring up she will name drop our dad.
She thinks people know her. Number one, she thinks people know our father. So she thinks people know him, which they might, but she doesn't go in with an air of curiosity. She approaches it with an air of certainty. She is certain that they know him and that our mom is royalty as well. They have not been married for 31 years.
31 years, and she still gets she is so pissed off every time she has to pay for a Slurpee.
Oh, she complains about it.
This should be comped.
And I just want to be like, Mom, no, like, people don't know who you are, and they don't know who he is. Like, they don't know. And she refuses to acknowledge that. But good on Leslie for walking into every aspect of her life with the confidence of a mediocre white man. Like, I appreciate that about her. And she's ridiculous. But I myself walked into that 7-Eleven in Buffalo with the same confidence, saying, I am the queen of 7-Eleven. This is my home. Because here's the thing. Maybe you have a space that you grew up in that you've not been in for a while. When I step into a 7-Eleven and I smell the smell of a 7-Eleven, something stirs inside of me.
Yes.
Something
Even
comes
when I just see
to
one.
life.
I saw a painting of a 7-Eleven that someone I followed did, an artist I followed did, and I was like, this brings up so much nostalgia. I was like, it was just so beautiful.
Yeah, it's a lot. We have a lot of love. Again, not sponsored.
Not sponsored, but if you want to sponsor a 7-Eleven,
Tech Avail.
Yeah.
Anything
love your
else?
Hot dogs.
Oh, love your hot dogs. Even
Love
though
your
we
hot
grew up
dogs.
in an environment with many Hindu people, we were stuffing those beef hot dogs in our faces in front of them. And honestly, they were like, do it. Go ahead. Like I never got pushback from anyone on that. Like, I'm so offended. Like, they were like, you're a child. You need to eat. Like, make sure you're eating. But let me just say something. The number of times I have had Indian food in a lunchbox silver tin. If you're Indian, you know.
You know that
A
silver
stacked
tin.
silver tin. The number of times I had an Indian lunch that was made in the back with one of my father's employees who brought food for us or like had extra, and I dipped a hot dog bun in yogurt and ate it with Indian food because we didn't have any roti. Delicious.
Oh, they would make roti for us.
Oh,
okay,
yeah, but I would dip a hot dog bun in that yogurt. Everyone thinks it's gross, but you didn't know what I knew, which was it was delicious, okay? And so I hear your judgment, Michael, and I would like you to take 2 steps back because it was delicious.
Okay.
Really good memories in a 7-Eleven.
Really
and
good
trauma,
memories in a 7-Eleven.
but we're not going to go there.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about the trauma part.
Some fights.
Some fights.
Some big old
Some
fights.
legendary fights. Oh,
We'll talk
I'm
about
thinking of them now. We'll talk about that legendary fights later at 7-Eleven.
I mean, I think that we can talk about our side of the family's legendary fights with Mom.
Okay,
but
yeah.
not
but
the
we
other
can't talk
side
about
of
the
the family.
legendary fights. Yeah.
Yeah, but man, wow. Yeah, we've had some times at 7-Eleven.
It's been a time.
It's been a time. Yeah, so anything else?
That's our tribute. That's our loving tribute to 7-Eleven. It's been a monumental, I mean, it got us through college. So.
I do feel like a very, very deep ownership of it. Like that
I do too.
I do feel very connected to it. It's very strange.
But moving on, do you have anything you want to bring up besides?
I'd like to bring up some rage.
Okay.
I'm feeling, the world is a dumpster fire. When this comes out, it is going to be mid-February, I believe. Oh, which will make us so close to Dollywood.
Dollywood.
Countdown to Dollywood. I'm feeling a lot of rage. It's January 29th. There are a lot of executive orders being signed, a lot of things politically coming down the pipeline. But the particular... I'm feeling a lot of rage about all of it. But what I wrote down was, the stripping of DEI initiatives going on with lots of corporations right now are really pissing me the fuck off. But let's talk about one shining light that also feels like home to us that's not stripping away their DEI initiatives. And what was that, Michael?
Costco wholesale.
Mm-hmm. I would say that this is the home built by our mother. We had
the home built by our father was a 7-Eleven, and the home built by our mother was a Costco.
Yes, and again, not sponsored.
No, but we would love it.
Gladly welcome a Kirkland
We'd
sponsorship.
gladly welcome. Also, not enough Costco's in central and upstate New York.
100%. I used to live in Sunset Park in Brooklyn, where the Costco was simply 10 blocks away, which was beautiful. And did I love that Costco? No, but it was a Costco. And that meant...
The Costco's in New York are 2-story. They scare me. You put your cart through them, and you put your cart on the escalator. When I went there the first time with you, I was like, wow, this is an experience. This is so crazy that it's 2 floors instead of just one large warehouse. But it makes sense because you can do something like that in New York City.
But in this particular Costco in New York City, the bottleneck that happens with the carts is terrifying. It is so terrifying to me that my body will be crushed by, in between 2 Costco carts when I get up there. I just fully feel unprepared every time I use the cart escalator. Also, it's a thrill. I gotta say,
it's a thrill.
It's a thrill. I feel so excited when I get to put my cart in a cart escalator. And that's one of the benefits of living in a city where things have to be stacked on top of each other. You get innovation. You get new things coming down the pipeline.
Because the Targets are like that too, as well. Although we fucking hate Target right now.
Let me just say, Target, real disappointed in you. Target Circle fucking sucks anyway, okay? I can't go there right now. Let's talk about the positive, which is Costco. Okay. Because if I start, I'm holding my fidget toy, I'm squeezing it. I need to move on. So, Costco was the home built by our mother.
It was. She
Yeah.
loves a Costco. You know, I love a Costco Danish assortment and a muffin assortment.
Anything bigger. Is there anything bigger in this world? The New York Times ball isn't as big as one of those Costco. New York Times? New Year's Eve ball. The Times Square New Year's Eve ball that drops isn't as big as one of those Costco muffins or Danishes. They're huge.
Yeah, that assortment.
Huge.
At least that assortment of all together. I don't know. Do they still sell those?
I haven't been to a Costco in a while, so I don't know. I haven't been to one since before we moved out of New York. But
There's one supposed to be opening in Albany.
really?
Yeah, so you can go soon. Yeah, I don't know. It's been in development for a while, but yeah, you should go. You should go when they open up.
You already know Mom's going to make you go.
Yeah.
When I moved to the East Coast, Mom looked up where the nearest Costco's were. When I moved to Buffalo,
As she should.
She was panicking. Not because I was moving somewhere where I knew no one and had no resources, because there was not a Costco nearby. And she was like, What are you going to do? What are you going to do? How will you survive, Christina? And I said, Mom, I am one person.
You need 2 pounds of paste salsa, Christina.
I don't need 10 pounds
4 pounds
of cheddar
of tortilla
cheese.
chips.
I said, Mom, I'm one person. I am not shopping on a Costco level right now for anything in my life. And she just like really wouldn't hear it. Like she was just like, you won't survive. And so
She thinks of winter. She thinks of needing to stock up. She is a hunter-gatherer, Christina.
100%. And
Costco is for hunter-gatherers and preppers. And she got into prepping during the pandemic, so...
Well, she's
she
always
loves
been
Costco.
a prepper. Let's be real about that.
Yeah, she has always been a prepper.
If there's 6 rolls of toilet paper in her home, she finds it completely unacceptable. Mm-hmm. She will not hear of it. When I got you guys toilet paper for Christmas, because I wrapped it, I was like, it's going to be a relief. We had gone to your house for Thanksgiving, and I was like, I don't know if they need it, because the whole top shelf is full of toilet paper. And then both of you were discussing picking up more. And I was like, guys, I think we're good. Like, I think we're
okay. She's definitely rubbed off on me.
100%. Oh, on that respect, Michael, I think on many respects.
On many respects. I am actually her candle. She convinced me I was going to blow out one of her candles. This is Gilded Rose, her candle scent.
Once again, her mom makes candles.
One of her many signature scents. And she was like, oh, you don't want ambiance? I was like, you know what? I do. I need some ambiance.
For the pod?
So I decided not to blow out the candle.
That's what she said right now?
Yeah. That's what she said before we recorded. And she went into her room and closed the door, which I'm so shocked because I thought she was going to give her 2 cents every 2 minutes.
Yeah, well, she knows we don't want that. But
no.
Okay, so I just want to applaud Costco because it really affirmed how we were raised, in my opinion. It really affirmed going to this space and feeling like, wow, opportunity. Wow, anything we need is here in abundance. And I'd like for us to mimic Costco in the future when manifesting. I'd like for us to come to manifesting our lives with a Kirkland mindset. It's never too small. It's never too small.
It's never too small. In fact,
you need 4 in one pack. Okay? You need big. You need resources.
Yes.
Advocate for your needs. Get the 100 AA pack of batteries for $40 that you need.
Because you're going to need them, especially in this environment that we're living in, this current climate.
Get your birthday cake at Costco. Get
that sheet cake, those beautiful sheet cakes they have.
A duvet, like
a duvet. Oh, and a bestseller, because, love the book section at Costco, too.
100%. Clothes, get your jeans. I mean, the thing that I am struggling with is that I do not live in a Costco town right now.
Yeah.
I
You
live
in a Sam's Club
town, and I think they're not supporting the person I wanted them to support in the election.
Oh, yeah. No, they're connected to the Waltons. So Sam's Club is an offshoot of Walmart. So, yeah.
Yeah, and like that is hard for me because I walk into the Sam's Club. It's really nice.
They are pretty nice. Yours is really nice.
Yours is really nice.
The one in Albany is toe up from the flow up.
Okay.
It is.
But it's really nice. Oh, but I remember this is what I wanted to talk about because we went to Sam's Club a couple of days ago.
Yes.
And like a few days ago, and I'm struggling going back and forth.
Don't they have a cafe too?
They do. $1.68 hot dogs. Nils gasped when we walked by. Because he often talks about how much he misses Costco because of their hot dogs and their pizza. When I first took my husband to Costco, he was very negative about it, I will say, and I really wasn't having it.
People have their birthday parties at Costco.
100%. He's a cynical man, my husband, but he was like
a little bougie.
Yeah. White, as we can probably assume. And we walked into Costco and I was like, listen, we're going to go about this a very specific way. And we're going to pick up things and you're going to appreciate the deals here because I know you, because you're cheap and you appreciate a deal. And he was like, whatever, like, sure, let's go in. The minute he walked in, should we get this pack of granola bars over here? Should we get this? Oh, look at that protein for that much.
Did you guys spend like $500?
$500 the first time we went.
Costco?
Literally, the man said, should we get this flour? It was a 20-pound bag of flour. I was like, we do not need a 20-pound bag of flour, Nils.
I would argue you do. I'm
we
a baker.
lived in
I
a
would argue you do.
one-bedroom Brooklyn apartment. Like, this was before we had a child that we went to Costco.
This was before your 2-bedroom?
Yes. This
oh my god! He wanted to bring a what? He wanted to bring up that big of a. Okay, that makes sense because your first apartment in Brooklyn with what you guys lived together in was small.
He wanted a 20-pound bag of flour, and I was like, "Hey, I know." I was like, "Hey, buddy, I know this is exciting. I knew you would find this exciting, but let's bring it down to what we need." And I said, why don't we just get the individual 2 bags of flours put together in one pack? And he was like, but it's a better deal for this. And I was like, let's walk away. And then he saw a pizza for $10 and he gasped. And he said, we have to do it. We have to get it. We have to bring it home.
Is it one of the Costco brand pizzas?
100%.
That you reheat?
The fresh ones.
Oh, I love those.
No, the fresh ones. You can get a whole pizza at Costco for $10. So anyway, we went into the Sam's Club and he was very hesitant. He was like, I don't know how this is going to be. And he enjoyed it. And once again, I'm not sure which direction to go with my support of Sam's Club yet. I need to figure that out. But we went with our son, who also loves a Costco because he's been.
And loves a hot dog.
Loves a hot dog as well. Thank you, Michael, for that reminder. And we saw something so startling, which was one of those floor buffers and floor cleaners that they ride through the store, like that you can sit on and ride.
Yeah.
But it was, there was no person on it. It was not occupied by a human or being steered by a human. It was
a robot. A robot buffer?
Yes. And it was gliding through the Sam's Club. Upon entry, I had to stop immediately because I thought something was wrong. I thought there was a rogue floor mop.
My mentor said this. She always talks about the robots and how they're going to take over. And,
it was frightening. You could see a little camera on it, so I wasn't sure if there was somebody in the back who was just operating it and looking at it, or if it has some sort of sensor, because it also looked like it had an iPad screen on it. It was frightening.
And no one's going to jack that?
I guess not, Michael, because this is a very nice Sam's Club. Maybe if it was the Sunset Park one, who knows? I don't know. Sunset Park Costco, maybe somebody would be like, this is nice, and
nice
take
iPad.
it. But it was frightening. And of course, my son was like, look, a robot, Mommy. Look.
Yeah.
And he was like, what? And it was frightening. And it was following us. That's how I can only describe it. Like, we were, every aisle, it would show up. And I was like, hey, this is scary. I was like, what is this? And I think my son could feel my fear, because I was like, okay, let's keep going. Let's go to the next aisle. And we were specifically went there for paper towels and toilet paper. And we turned into the aisle, and it was in the main aisle. And we turn, and I can hear it coming closer. And I can hear Nils going, it's coming. It's coming.
Somebody was fucking with you,
and
I think.
I was like, no, it was just cleaning that side of the store. So it was going aisle by. Well, Michael, you know what? Now that you're bringing it, I don't want to think about that, Michael. And
somebody obviously saw that it creeped you out, and they were just fucking with you. Because, you know, if I worked at a Sam's Club, and if I was in charge of the floor buffer robot, and I saw that this family was freaked out, I would pursue them, because what the hell else am I going to do, you know?
That's why you're not working at Sam's Club, because I feel like that would not be ethical. Maybe, I don't know. But literally, the robot mop turns down the aisle, and I panic. And clearly, this thing has sensors on it to be able to navigate the store, and it's going to stop all these things. But I went into like, I need to save my baby. And
yeah, you need to like you were Ewan McGregor in that one movie.
Oh, okay. I literally just like turned the cart in a panic, and I was like shielding Liam from this thing, and he was like, "Mommy!" And I was,
oh my god,
it was awful. And this man, so the reason why it was going past us and close to us is because there was another person in the aisle, and I was like, "Move out of the way," and it was frightening. So that was on my list to talk to you about.
So I don't think you should go to Sam's Club again, because they have robots that will chase you. So Costco doesn't have robots that will chase you.
Well, we
know of. Yeah, we don't know how they buffer those warehouse floors, those pristine cement warehouse floors.
Well, yeah, and then, you know, of course, then Liam wanted to follow it, and he says, I want to follow him. I want to see where he's going. And I said, it's not a him.
Oh, yeah.
I said, let's not do this, Liam. It's not a him. It's an it.
Didn't Liam ask you a question? You wanted to bring this up on the pod. He asked you something yesterday.
Oh, it was really dark.
Oh, it was?
Yeah, well, I disciplined my son. I think I turned off the TV or something, and I was like, no, you can't. Basically, I said, you can't do this one thing, and he was very upset.
He was watching the Magic School Bus, right? It was like Magic School Bus marathon yesterday, right?
Yeah, and he ran to his room that morning, I believe. I think it was yesterday morning. Could have been the day, I don't know, this week. And, you know, I had a pretty big failure as a parent that morning, because he came in, and it became dark pretty quickly, where he came out angry, and he said, Mommy, you're gonna die. And he asked me a question. Mommy, you're going to die.
And I know how you feel about death. You are scared of death. So that, oh my God.
Well, I am the chosen one in our family unit. I am the one that Liam discusses death with.
Oh, that must be horrible for you, because you do not handle death well.
I do not. It's my worst fear. I am terrified of it. I have a lot of work to do with it. I have regular panic attacks about it. And
he said, Mommy, you're going to die.
Mommy, you're going to die. But in a way where he was angry with me. Like, and I was like, what did you just say to me? And I was like, what did you say?
What'd you... Was it like a threat?
Well, it was like he was unhappy with my decision. So he was like, she's going to be gone someday. And
my God.
And something, that's my perception of it. But he's 4, so he didn't know.
Yeah, but he also said, God damn it.
Well, that's because Daddy said it.
Yeah.
And he picks it up. But
Liam is edgy.
he really is. He's so sassy.
He's really edgy.
He is me, very, very similar to me when I was his age. But I said, you get back to your room. And I walked in and was like, let's go back. And Nils was like, very mad. Like, Nils was like,
mad at Liam?
he was just mad that Liam would say something like that to me, of course.
Yeah. Oh my God.
And I was just like, I got it. Like, we're going to talk about this. But I said something that was not so good and probably really scarring for the rest of his life. And I said, yeah, I am going to die one day. And not in a way that was healing or soothing. Yeah, Christina. I'm not a perfect parent, and it was not good, and I was reflecting upon this, and I think I did some pretty deep damage that will take years of therapy.
There's that book about a tree that teaches you about death. It's like a children's book that teaches you about death. I think it's about a tree. Maybe I should get him. Yeah, I think you both need it.
But you know, and I said that, which was
that's
not so
a great
good.
Way to teach your son about death.
And well, I have been teaching him about death. This moment was not my finest moment and was not great. And he, of course, lunged himself onto me and started immediately sobbing, and it was just not great. And so,
oh my God,
it was dark. I told you it was dark at the top of this.
Yeah.
And you know, we all have
I
our
didn't
moments.
know how
it was
dark
not good.
it was.
Yeah, it was not good. And I have a lot of fear, it is the biggest thing for me. That is the most triggering, awful, panicking thing for me. And
yeah, I used to get those panic attacks too.
Yeah, and so in that moment, then I shifted very quickly to, I'm here, I'm not, you know, that's not going to happen for a long, long time. And I'm okay. Because then he was saying later, I don't want you to die. And
oh my God. That's like when I had that freak out about Little Women when I was faced with my own mortality and we watched Little Women and I just like broke down.
Yeah. So
because of the death scene in Little Women.
Yeah. And so we had a big moment where, you know, we were talking through things and, you know, I was trying to affirm him he was going to be okay and I'll be okay and Daddy will be okay. And here's the cruel fucking irony of the whole thing. Nils is so chill with death. He is so chill about talking about death. He has such a healthy perspective on it. He's fine. And who does this child come to for any form of guidance around death? The person who simply cannot handle having a conversation about
like
it.
when I have been at your place, you have like come out in just like, oh yeah, I was just thinking about death.
And just a panic attack and
I have to like calm you down from your panic attack because your husband is sleeping.
It's a thing. Well, yeah.
So he came to the wrong parent for that.
Yeah. We, you know, this all started because, and then, you know, we're in the car on the way to school and I'm like, how are you okay? Like, what are you feeling? He's like, I don't want you to die. And I was like, I know.
Oh my God.
It was very, very challenging. It was very dark. And of course he didn't realize what he was saying in the moment of like dying, and I responded in a way that was maybe not the healthiest way to respond. And I was, yeah, it's real rough. We're going through it right now with the concept of death. So I'm going to need to read more about it. I'm going to need to educate myself and talk to him about it in a healthier way. And I've been trying to chill because the thing I do not want to do is pass on this fear to him. I do want to pass on this anxiety to him. I don't want it to be that way. So, you know, Liam and I, we will go outside on our porch and we'll go look at the moon sometimes. And that is apparently the space where he wants to bring up death to me. So we, you know, we'll wrap ourselves in a blanket and look at the moon, and then he'll just start talking to me about dying. And I'm like, I can't do this.
Oh, yeah. If it was Daddy, it would be different. Or even if it was me, it would be different.
Honestly,
but anyone but you.
Anyone
like
but me.
The most unfit person to talk about our own mortality.
But I think it's very needed because Nils and I were talking about it afterwards, and I was telling him I did not handle this well, and I need you to like check me next time, like, and be like there. And I did not do this, and we were like, he was like, yeah, that wasn't great. And then I said, yeah, but I also think like this is probably very necessary for me to be that person in order to like process this in real time with him. And he was like, yeah, I guess it just has to be you. Because he was laughing because he was like, I am so chill about this subject matter. And speaking of Nils, should we go get him for this episode? For maybe a 10 to 15 minute wrap up of this episode. What do you think? Is there anything else you want to bring up?
I think we should have a segment called like reality show recap.
Oh, okay.
And so, I recently watched the rest of Real Housewives of New York.
Love that we went from talking about death and dying to this.
Yeah, reality show recap. I think we need something lighter.
Yeah, I agree.
I agree.
I think we talked about that for way too long.
So I finally got past Erin's mezcal bullshit.
And I didn't even watch it. I just watched the finale.
I watched the whole season. If you just went into the finale cold, and that's like crazy. Yeah, I decided to commit to these women again. And, thankfully, I'm glad I wrote out this season this weekend and really decided to watch the whole season because I do love this reboot, even though it's gotten a lot of flack and they don't know if it's going to get another season. They're really because I don't think it performed that well. Right. But I do love these women. And also I caught up with the Traitors.
Oh, yeah, you did.
Yeah, and you showed me some stuff from the Traitors about Boston Rob, and I was already having some kind of thoughts about Boston Rob, actually, before you showed me.
Whoa.
The old footage.
Elaborate.
He is my type of white guy, which is a really tan Sicilian. Okay. I love a really tan white guy. So like almost like not white. He has to be really brown. Almost like red, like Louis from Real Housewives of New Jersey. Like has to be just like burnt.
Michael. I did not know this.
I'm not attracted to Louis, but
sounds like you are.
I don't know. I'm wrestling.
Reference that you're.
I'm just saying, like, that. I like a crispy white guy, like a burnt to a crisp white guy. So I was like looking at Boston Rob some type of way, and then you sent me those videos of him back in the day.
I know.
And I was like, Boston Rob. Oh my God.
Yeah, as my favorite comment said.
Everyone do yourselves a favor. And if you're still able to have TikTok on your phone,
Michael
and you weren't
downloaded
stupid
it
like me.
Or he deleted it.
I deleted it preemptively. So I can't download it again.
Yeah.
But I was able to get TikToks from my sister who's been giving me my dopamine fix.
Yes.
And seasons 8 and seasons 4 of Boston Rob.
Wow.
Well, it said in the comments season 4 and season 8 of Boston Rob. Like that is a beautiful man. That is a beautiful man.
Yeah. Yeah. As my favorite comment said, Robert, I was unfamiliar with your game.
Seriously.
Yeah, I love it. And it's fun seeing all these people who knew him.
He showed a picture of himself on the beach recently with the backwards cap, and he has like the perfect dad bod.
Mm-hmm. So you're thirsty for Boston Rob.
I'm a little thirsty for Boston Rob. And he has that accent.
You and the rest of America.
I love a white man with an Italian accent, like an East Coast white guy who's tan and has an accent. That is the only kind of white guy I am attracted to.
I'm attracted to the whites quite a bit.
You get down with the swirl.
Yeah.
It wasn't always that way, but
no, it was not. But I do enjoy Boston Rob a lot. I did not know who he was, so when there was the big reaction, I was like, okay. But
and a cap, a backwards cap.
But then I looked up more about him. I was like, ooh, I enjoy this, and like his strategy and coming in, and I love the way they framed his entrance and Wes and Jeffrey. I don't
know. He's forgettable.
I don't know. I'm sure he's great, but I don't remember him.
I just can't believe the challenge is still a thing. Like, it's like people don't even remember Real World and Road Rules.
The season before, Michael, which I've been trying to get you into Traders, CT from the challenge and Road Rules was on. And him and Phaedra have the most amazing chemistry in the entire world.
Okay, I'll watch season 2. I'll binge season 2 on another break. I am busy working on paintings. So I took a week off, and then I'm working on this painting again. And then maybe on the weekend, I'll catch up with season 2. Incredible. I heard MJ gets done dirty.
She does. Yeah.
In that season.
But she's hilarious.
I love MJ. I miss Shaws of Sunset.
I never watched it.
Shaws of Sunset was ridiculous, and Mike on Shaws of Sunset was so bangable. He was so cute.
Oh my god! Yeah, what is happening?
I just
I love
a brown man. I love a brown man.
You love a brown man, and so I mean, you are Leslie's son. Like Leslie loves a man of color, but I do like a white, and it's not that I discriminate against anyone, but I really do love a nerd. Like, I love a scrawny, skinny-ass nerd.
I love a bad boy.
You really do. You like a guy who was a member of a gang. Like,
yeah, my first boyfriend was a gang member.
Yeah,
my first boyfriend was a gang member.
And I mean that with no negativity.
I had met him like 6 months after he got out of prison, so he was covered in tattoos.
Yeah, like literally no negativity in that statement at all. It's just a fact.
No.
Yeah.
No.
I like a man who has a collection of action figures, and you like a man who has done hard time.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. And that's just our reality.
That is our reality.
And respective trauma responses, I imagine.
Yes. So I don't want to talk too much. I just wanted to bring up Roni and how I said I didn't care about those boring bitches last episode.
You sure did.
And actually, yes, I did. And I really have turned around. I still love Jessel. And, they really did. It was a good season for them, but it started off really boring.
That's what I've heard.
And
that's why I didn't engage.
Traders, and I'm caught up with Traders.
Yeah, that's why I didn't engage with the season, because I heard it was super boring with Roni, and I was like, well, I'll just, watch the finale. I will say I've never watched the new Roni, so I didn't watch it last season. I was like, really? Like, this is not happening. I was like, they're not taking my women away. And then, so I was just kind of like, I don't want to engage.
It's not the same show.
No, it's not the same, but I will say, Jenna Lyons.
I love Jenna Lyons.
I am in love with you. And
I am in love with Jenna Lyons.
I follow her on Instagram now. Her videos just running through.
I love Raquel too.
All these, I do love Raquel a lot.
Raquel, and she's a new addition. And I love Jessel, even though she's an idiot and she's bad representation.
Michael, stop saying
I love Jessel.
Things.
I'm just saying Jessel is not the kind of representation the South Asian community needs at this time.
Okay, I haven't watched enough.
We'll take
literally the only Roni I've watched is the finale. Like, that's the only thing I watched.
The season 2 finale.
The season 2
you didn't
finale.
Even watch season 1.
No.
Like, I actually watched season 1 and gave these women a chance.
Yeah, but I am in love with Jenna Lyons. I always adored her, and I always
Did you see
saw
her reunion look?
Obsessed.
Did you see her reunion look? Obsessed. And everyone is like, Bob from Traders was actually harping on it on Watch What Happens Live. He thought it was a horrible look. I was like, you're crazy.
Bob,
it was such a good look.
I don't even want to start on Bob. Okay? The amount of unhealthy narrative that man has promoted about working out in people's body, and then he himself was going through a struggle, and I don't even want to start with Bob. Because it's going to lead me to Jillian Michaels, and I can't with Jillian.
Yeah, I can't with Jillian Michaels.
Bob, I actually do love Bob a lot, but I just think he was part of a machine that was not a healthy machine when it comes to promoting wellness. It was a reality game show, and I'm sure he might feel a certain way about that now. I don't know, but I didn't like that he was a part of that. Did I watch it? Sure did, but
I didn't watch The Biggest Loser.
I watched like 2 seasons of it.
You did?
Yeah, it was actually very fascinating. But I didn't like it.
At least it's not like The Swan. Remember The Swan?
My God. We grew up in a very dark timeline.
Very dark timeline for
TV.
reality television. Yeah, television. The Swan was terrible. But should we have our Dr. Bronner's expert?
Yeah, let me go
before we
get
wrap
him.
up the show.
Let me go get him.
Okay.
Hi.
So
Hi, welcome, Nils.
our Dr. Bronner's expert has come to the pod. Welcome, Nils.
You're
Hi.
not anxious at all. Very calm.
You are very calm, actually.
Yes.
So-
I feel very confident and relaxed.
Great. Welcome to Synchronicity. We
Episode 3.
Episode 3. We wanted to chat with you because we had a conversation at our mother's house about Dr. Bronner soap, and I had a conversation about how it takes the stains out of literally everything,
And we were talking about this because of my choice in sweatsuits, right? Because I was
closer.
using lighter colored sweatsuits. I had bought a white and a khaki sweatsuit, and you guys were like, "You're gonna just get stains all over them."
well,
I was
because
like,
you
well, I
had
could just use
said
bleach.
no. Hold on, let's back up. We
What?
didn't
Okay.
say that you were going to get stains on it. You said I have turmeric all over my clothes.
Yeah, I do from cooking chicken curry. Yeah.
Yeah. So I brought
And
up
I
Dr.
would
Bronner
say
soap.
that you would get stains all over if you didn't.
Yeah. So listen to that voice. Gorgeous.
So rich.
So rich.
All right.
So you brought up your experience with Dr. Bronner soap and how you had been around it your entire life.
Yes.
So can you detail that a little bit?
Yeah, so I've been around the blue variety. I believe that's peppermint. And
Sure is.
Yep, that's peppermint, right?
Yeah.
And so that's the type that I'm most familiar with. And I've been very curious about the purposes of Dr. Bronner's soap. And so
Because it is a multi-purpose soap, right?
it is multi-purpose soap, in fact.
I'd also like to say this
18
is not sponsored. The third warning
The
about
third
a
not
brand that
sponsored.
we've said is not sponsored.
It's not sponsored.
Okay, so sorry to interrupt, I just want to make sure to clarify. So
It's
multi-purpose
18. It's 18 in 1, I think, right?
And I was
I thought
shocked.
you said like 36 in one.
I was shocked.
Is it
when you said
36? Do we have a bucket of it around?
this. In the basement, but
We do?
yeah.
Really? Oh, maybe we'll have to take a little pause here and go run down and
No,
get
it's
some.
okay.
it's okay. We don't have to.
Maybe we should try it live.
Well, here's what I said, because you said, yes, it is. I think it is 18 in 1, Michael. And you said, yeah, it's multi-purpose. It has so many uses. And I said, what? And you said, yeah, read the label.
You said you can brush your teeth with Dr. Bronner's
hold on.
peppermint?
I
Well,
was
that's
shocked
where I
when you
was
said read the
going.
label, because the label is the longest label in the world. And so
It is the longest label
you
in
can
the
brush your teeth
world.
with it. So go on, Nils.
Yeah, so one of the most peculiar purposes it has that Michael just mentioned is that it's also apparently, toothpaste.
It's disgusting. And you
Yes.
tried it.
Yeah, it doesn't. It's very liquid, so
Yes.
you would think it doesn't work very well with toothpaste, and you'd be right.
And the peppermint, I mean, it's
Literally
also
wash your mouth out
soap.
with soap.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
not-
that's where the expression comes from, actually.
Dr. Bronner's.
Yeah.
Wow. Thank you.
I'm
know.
lying.
Okay.
Expert. Okay. You don't need to say
Okay.
that.
Well, yeah, I believed you. It's an old ass soap.
Well, Michael and I were also, during this discussion, we thought about, Dr. Bronner's always felt like a very pricey soap. Like,
Yeah, at least on the West Coast,
I
it's a very
never-
pricey, bougie, like, soap.
and I had never encountered it until I moved to Santa Cruz for college, and I went to a hippy dippy store, and it was like $7, and I was like, "That's crazy." Give me
$7
my
isn't
well,
expensive.
for me it was. I was like,
I've
give me
seen
my
the little
swab.
bottle go for like $14.
Yeah, I was give me my caress. Like I would like my $3 soap.
You mean Crest?
Caress.
What's
soap.
Caress?
It's a soap for people on the lower income bracket, I believe. Maybe, I don't know. It's,
Like in the suave kind of.
yeah, it's like on the
area.
bottom of the shelf for soaps. I think.
Okay.
I liked it, but you had interface with this soap your entire life. But did you regularly wash yourself with Dr. Bronner
No.
soap? So when you did, like, what would you use it for? When you were or it was just around your house?
It was just around the house.
Okay, it was just a staple in your childhood.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But you can use it for your laundry. You can use it for your hands.
wow.
This is fascinating.
It is.
Did you use it for your hands?
And no, God, no, it's peppermint.
But you were
Yeah,
just
I hate
simply
anything with
looking
the
at
minty.
the
It
bottles.
gives you like that ring stain kind of.
Yeah.
Yo, that's what
thing
we're going to get
about it.
into, is
Yeah.
you were just simply looking at the bottles of Dr. Bronner soap around your house. You weren't actually using them.
No.
Okay.
No, you learn plenty just by staring at it.
Sure. Yeah.
You can the scent alone is enough to sting your eyes, so you get the whole vibe of it just by looking at it.
You were just in a culture of Dr. Bronner's. You just had the feeling
That's
of it
all you
around.
need.
That's true. I do feel like just seeing a bottle of Dr. Bronner's soap gives you a great indication of what type of home you're stepping into.
Yes.
Would you agree, Michael?
Yes, I agree.
Okay.
Really sets the tone.
I agree. So apparently you can also wash your car with this soap.
No,
you
you
said.
can't.
What?
You said that.
Oh.
You said that you could wash your car with it.
I
Yeah,
might
I
have been
remember
lying
that.
again.
So that's not
Okay,
one of the
well.
18 uses.
Maybe. I don't see why you couldn't, I guess. You could
Well, I
try.
wanted
You
to
could give
test
it a
it
shot.
out. Yeah. I have been using it for
Try
stain
it this
removal.
weekend.
There's literally a hurricane outside of our home right
Oh,
now.
poor
Yeah,
Liam.
no,
It's wild.
it was bad. I think you guys got what we got earlier, just a few hours ago. But the winds are supposed to kick up. Yeah.
That's wild.
Well, it was nice having a son.
I know that was so good yesterday having the sun.
Oh no, we're talking about our child. Because it's so windy outside.
I said it was so nice having a son.
Oh, a
because
sun. Oh, I thought you
he
said
goes
the
to outdoor
sun.
school, and we
Oh,
just
yeah,
witnessed
he
a hurricane outside. So
Oh my god.
Nils is very dark. And
Particularly without the sun.
well, I was just discussing the conversation I had with Liam about death this week.
Okay,
How that
we're
was
talking
very
about
frightening.
Bronner's.
Yeah, and how that.
Yeah,
was
I don't
very-
wanna talk about
we're
death
not going to
again.
go back to that. But but I was saying how you're very
Who
chill
is
and
this
balanced.
podcast for?
No one. We don't know. We don't know. We think only our mom and Ellen are listening. So
Listening, seriously.
okay, so just to we're nearly wrapping it up, but I'd like to talk to you about how when you did first apply Dr. Bronner soap to your body and what that experience
Oh, it was
like.
awful. It burned. Yeah, it definitely burns. I think more to the point, and the real kicker is when I did decide to finally use it for the first time, and I made the bold decision to use it as the toothpaste.
That was the first interaction.
was the
you
first
had?
That was
Time.
my first interaction, I think, with Dr. Bronner's, was using it as a toothpaste, the peppermint. And
So you saw soap, and you said
You were like,
that
this
you
would be
had
a
had
great
around
toothpaste.
the whole time, your whole life,
yeah,
and you said, "Let me put it in my mouth."
yeah. I was like, let's do it. It says it's 18-1. Let's try it.
Yeah.
I think that just goes to show your spirit of ingenuity. Ingenuity?
I love
Ingenuity.
Of meringue matang.
And also, I don't really know what. I don't know if I would have encountered Dr. Bronner's and said, let me brush my teeth.
It was
with that."
awful. I
Yeah.
don't recommend it. I think it's got to be knocked down to 17-1 or 35-1. Whatever it states now. And they got to take off the toothpaste. I mean, technically you brushed my teeth, but it burned. And I don't know. It was really just like putting soap in your mouth.
It was putting soap in your mouth.
It was putting. It was because it was soap.
It wasn't like it was soap.
It was soap and putting in your mouth. It was not. It was not toothpaste.
Yeah.
So they really kind of feathered the purposes of what its capabilities.
Yeah.
Would you say they have good branding? Because I think they're really iconic. They have good branding, like as far as the logo goes.
Feels overstimulating.
Yeah, they went nutty with it, and they relied on that total insanity.
Oh.
And it's iconic for them.
Yeah, but I will say that peppermint, when you do first interface with it, is overwhelming. I didn't choose to go the route of brushing my teeth with it. I did take a shower with it, and it really stays on your body for a while.
Did you do lavender or peppermint?
A peppermint, yeah.
Wow, okay, so we both did peppermint.
I
What
think
did you
I
do,
did it
Michael?
at your home.
Lavender, and I think it was at your guys' place because I had used it once before. I had used rose before, and I think that was at my mom's old place. But I used lavender, and I found it was delightful. I think peppermint is just like a whole other...
Peppermint is assaulting.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like too much for your senses. And I wonder if we should read the peppermint label on the show one day. Maybe we should have you back to read the full label to better understand if there is a difference between the different types and how to use them.
Yeah.
Because the peppermint does feel very intense on one's body. It lingers in places that we didn't expect it to linger. And
That's true. Mm-hmm. Like your butthole.
that, thanks.
Yeah, it gives you ring sting.
Ring sting, as Michael likes to say.
Ring sting.
Yeah.
I've not said anything of the sort. But
You don't need to. We're here.
anything else to add about your Dr. Bronner's experience?
No, that's it.
Thank you, Nils.
Thank you
for
so
coming
much,
on.
Nils.
You're welcome.
Thank you
Appreciate
for coming
it.
on to the pod.
Thanks for coming on
good.
Synchronicity.
Thank you, everybody. I mean, Ellen and Leslie.
Yeah.
Yeah, just Ellen and Leslie really are going to listen
Yeah.
to this.
What a delightful interaction with our Dr. Bronner's expert, Nils.
He has such the voice for a podcast.
He really does.
And even though he doesn't want to be on a podcast, and I'm surprised that we actually got him to do it.
He's a big get, man. Yeah.
Yeah, he is a big guy.
Yeah, and did you see, though, how quickly he relaxed into the role? He likes it.
Yes.
Yeah, he
He
really
does like
did.
it. We need to have him on more for hot takes.
Yep.
We could do a segment called Hot Takes with Nils.
Yeah, let us know what you think, guys. Do you want more Nils?
Do you want more Nils?
Leslie and Ellen, do you want more Nils on the show? Let us know. Michael, I think the time has come for us to wrap up this episode.
Yeah,
we went
we're
quite
nearing
long.
over an hour.
Yeah.
This was long for us. Episode 3 is gonna be juicy.
And I don't know, as Nils said, who this show is for.
For right now,
but-
I don't know our audience.
You know, I had a good time, and
Yeah.
we talked about 7-Eleven, Costco, death
Yeah,
and dying, robots,
yeah.
and Dr. Bronner soap. I'd like you all to know that we have been badgering Nils since that conversation to come on to the show.
Since episode 1.
Since episode 1, we wanted him to come on, so this was a big accomplishment for us.
Yeah.
Michael, I appreciate you.
was.
I love you. I'll talk
love
to you
you
probably later
too.
tonight.
Yeah, probably later tonight. I don't know what's for dinner yet, but I'm gonna go paint.
Great.
Yeah.
We hope you all have a great week. We'll see you next week on Synchronicity.